name is Susan Abro. I am an attorney. I've been an attorney for 35 years. And in June 1995, I started my own practice called Susan Abro Attorney. And I specialize in family law and have done so for the last 30 years. It's been a very interesting progression because, for example, we only joined the Hague Convention on Abduction of Children in 1994, I think it was. So we started our international journey then, but family law changes very quickly because, for example, you have issues such as surrogacy and you have same-sex marriage. And so as life changes and as science changes, so family law has to change. And we're usually following, not leading. Basically, I deal with issues from cradle to grave. And I do a lot of divorce work, but that includes children, and that's my passion, looking after children. And also I've been involved in protecting a woman from domestic violence and assisting them to protect themselves. So that's the starting point of my career and where I am today. 30 years later, I'm still passionate about it, and I'm still trying to look after the rights of children and women. How did I choose family law as a career? Well, it sort of chose me. I started at a big firm in Durban. So I did my articles with a firm, and I have to tell this story. I won't mention names, but I did articles with a firm which was only men, which was a wonderful experience because I had incredible training. But they were merging with another firm and the other firm said they had to wait until I finished my articles because they didn't want any women. So I come from that long ago. And so then I joined Woodhead, Bigby and Irving, which was a very big firm at the time, and had a wonderful 5 years with them. I became a partner in my first year there. And I'm a very independent person. And I realized that I wasn't going to fit into the huge corporate. I needed to be dealing with people, so like ordinary people. And so that's how I landed up opening my own practice. I left on very good terms, and so I then got involved with the advice desk for abused women, as it then was, and the rest flowed from there. Yes, it's very different going from a corporate firm to a sole practitioner, and it's very nice because I'm the one who sets my own fee targets. I'm not told how much I have to earn, so that's what happens in a corporate practice. You have to produce, whereas I set my own targets and I can do whatever pro bono work I want to do, whatever. You set your own rules. I'm a person who gets involved. So what was my biggest dream? It changes all the time. So I started off, I joined a big practice and I became a partner. That was an amazing dream. Then I opened my own practice. And you're very cheeky when you do this because you have nothing, you know nothing, you think you know everything. And then I'm still here 30 years later, during the course of which I have, done a lot of things and earned a lot of achievements and helped a lot of people. So my dream, my reality is to help people. That's what I'm about. And it's not just in my practice, it's on the ground as well. So, I believe in the philosophy that someone gives you a hand up and you give someone a pull up or a leg up or whatever they call it. So women are very good at that. And I've had many women during the course of my life who have influenced me at different levels. So when I first started, I, as I said, became involved in the advice desk for abused women. Judge Navaneethan Pillay, who became an international, one of the first judges of the International Criminal Court. She was a judge of The Hague. Then she became the the CEO of the UN Human Rights Committee, Council, whatever they call it. So, I mean, she's an incredible woman, and she's been involved at international levels. I've been with her to Germany, Nuremberg, where they launched the Human Rights Prosecutors School. So, that's one level. Then I've had the late Professor Anshu Pariyachi, who was very involved in the NGO space, and Pat Pillay, who's the immediate past head of the Department of Justice in KZN. So, those are the role models in my profession. And then someone like Cindy Norcott in the NGO space, she and I both got awards in 2004 from the Business Women's Association of South Africa. And we've basically been friends ever since, and she's been incredible in the NGO space. So, we all help each other, and like the current judge president of KZN is a woman who served on the Law Society with me, and she refers to me as a mentor. So, that's what I like about women. We help each other, and we try not to hurt each other. My impacts, I've been involved at very different levels. So apart from my practice, where I've impacted on people's lives, which I try to help them, I try to resolve things rather than fight things. I've been involved in the Jewish community as the president. I was the co-chairperson of the Law Society of South Africa, first woman vice president of the KwaZulu-Natal Law Society. I was involved at committee level in the International Bar Association. I have been involved in various NGOs at different levels. So, yeah, my impact has always been around people's rights, gender rights a lot, children's rights a lot, and helping in the NGO space when people need help from time to time. The challenges that I've experienced along the way, starting at the beginning, and I must tell you, I grew up on a farm. So when you grow up as a farmer's child, you get taught to respect everyone, and and those values have stayed with me my whole life. The challenges, so being a woman in a male-dominated profession, and it's still a male-dominated profession, is a challenge. But you've either got to be very strong, or you've got to do something that doesn't require you to be strong. I'm very strong, so I don't worry about those kind of challenges. I started I was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa in 2009, which is a disease that basically your vision degenerates. So I only have peripheral vision now. I don't have any central vision, so I can't read anymore, for example. Stopped driving in 2016. So thank goodness for Uber. And I've got wonderful staff. So those are challenges, but because I have my own practice, and because I've been in the business a long time and have a good reputation, it doesn't worry people. And it certainly doesn't worry me. I have to overcome them. So those are the kind of challenges. So losing your vision is a very difficult thing. And I'm not sure if it's worse to lose your vision or your hearing. And by the way, I'm also having a deterioration of my hearing as an age thing, but I can still hear pretty well. But what I've got is hereditary. So my brother was diagnosed in his late 20s. He's 2 years younger than I am. So I've been with him on his journey. And so it's been easier for me to accept. It wasn't a great surprise when I was diagnosed. Although, having said that, when my brother was diagnosed, and in those days they had very far simpler tests than they have now, both my sister and I were told we didn't have it. So it was somewhat of a shock. But I don't mean to make light of it. It's difficult, but it's something you can overcome. And I'm lucky because I had my own business. If you are part of a big corporate, the chances are you will not find them sympathetic. And you will find yourself not having a job. So yeah, people in general who have vision problems don't get employment easily. The advice I would give to younger women in particular and people in general is find your passion. And if your passion is law, find what your passion is in law. Because when I started, I said, I'm not going to be put in a box. And, you know, in those days, women did divorce or they did conveyancing. So I said, that's it, I'm doing commercial. And it wasn't my passion. And I did do commercial, but I ended up doing family, and that was my passion. So you've got to find your passion. You must find mentors and literally go out and look for them and ask them. Because you'd be surprised how many people are happy to be a mentor and to give advice. It's just all about asking for advice, and never burn your bridges. So, you know, every time I've moved on from somewhere, be it my old firm or be it from an organization, I don't burn my bridges. You keep your relationships and always be collegial and honest. And another thing that's quite a good idea for young women is to find women's organizations, because women are very good at networking in a different way from men. So with men, it's very much the old school tie. With women, it's very much about empathy and helping each other. And so it's just a different way of networking, but it's nice to, you know, do both. It's a difficult question. So I come from a line of women who, including my mother and my grandmother, have lived long and valued lives, and both of them have worked until they were 86. I can tell you right now, I'm not going to work till I'm 86. But, you know, you come from role models like that. So my future goals are, I'm obviously going to continue in practice because, you know, one doesn't retire at 60 or 65 anymore. And I love what I'm doing. But I do want to retire. I do want to do more traveling, and I do want to do more NGO work. I want to be in a position where I can say I'll see 3 clients a month, and then the rest of the time I'll do NGO work. That's my goals. So in terms of my achievements, one of the ones I enjoyed at the time was acting as a judge of the High Court in Durban, because it gives you the view from the other side of the fence, so to speak. But I like working with people. So it's not something that I wanted to do on a permanent basis. And then I've been very grateful to I've received awards from the Old Girls Guild of my school, St. Anne's, and I've received awards internationally and locally. So that's something I'm also proud of. So to find balance in one's life, and people tell you, you know, you have to manage your stress. Yeah, good luck with managing stress, because we all live with stress. So exercise is important, and we all have our own levels of exercise. I have a personal trainer who comes to my office, and I exercise with my staff. So that's fun. Friends are very important to me. And your friends are the family you choose. And my family, I have a very close-knit family. So that's the one side. I belong to an organization called the Shane de Rotterdam, which is an organization for the enjoyment of the table, which basically means we do a lot of good eating and drinking. And I've always had an interest in wine, so those are my things I do to have fun.